English Politics Podcast.
English Politics Podcast.
English Politics Podcast. Hello, and welcome to the English Politics Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mitchell, bringing you unfiltered insights into the most pivotal political moments of our time. Today's episode is a special one, and I'm thrilled to take you behind the scenes of the presidency like never before. Our topic is Trump's Untold Agenda, the secrets behind his presidency. We'll delve into the unseen strategies, unspoken moments, and ambitious plans that shaped the leadership of one of America's most iconic presidents. Joining me today is none other than the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Known for his bold decisions, unwavering focus on America's interests, and unrelenting drive, President Trump has always captured the world's attention. Today, he's here to give us an insider look into the hidden dimensions of his presidency. President Trump, thank you for being here. It's an absolute honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Sarah. It's always a pleasure to connect with platforms like yours. You're doing a tremendous job bringing the truth to the people.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your presidency has always been characterized by bold moves and unapologetic action. But today, we're focusing on what the public didn't see. The plans, ideas, and strategies that didn't make the headlines.
That's right, Sarah. You know, when you're in this position, a lot happens behind closed doors. Not every decision is public. Not every strategy is announced. But those are often the ones that define a presidency.
Absolutely. And I think our audience is eager to hear about these untold aspects. Let's dive into the heart of today's discussion and uncover the secrets behind your presidency. Mr. President, what was the most challenging part of implementing your agenda?
The greatest challenge was navigating the entrenched bureaucracy in Washington. Many people don't realize how resistant the system can be to change. From career politicians to unelected officials, there's a lot of inertia that slows down progress. Despite this, I stayed focused on my goals, cutting regulations, creating jobs, and standing up for American families. My administration pushed through with resilience and determination, delivering historic achievements like the tax cuts and renegotiating trade deals. These weren't just policies. They were victories for the American people.
What role did your international relationships play in shaping your presidency?
International relationships were crucial. I always approached diplomacy with the mindset of a deal-maker, prioritizing American interests. Whether it was meeting with North Korea's Kim Jong-un or negotiating with NATO allies, my goal was to strengthen America's position. I didn't let foreign leaders take advantage of us. For instance, the renegotiated NAFTA, now USMCA, was a direct result of hard negotiations. These relationships weren't just about politics. They were about ensuring that America got the respect and fairness it deserved on the global stage.
Was there a strategy you planned but couldn't fully execute?
Yes. One major initiative was what I call the America Digital Future Plan. The goal was to expand high-speed internet access to every rural community in the United States. While we made great progress, bureaucratic delays and funding issues slowed its full execution. Still, the framework is there, and I believe it will eventually transform millions of lives. Access to the internet is essential for education, jobs, and innovation, and this plan was about empowering every American, no matter where they live.
How did you balance transparency with protecting sensitive information?
It's a delicate balance, Sarah. As president, I had a responsibility to be transparent with the American people while also safeguarding national security. There were moments when certain decisions couldn't be immediately disclosed. For example, military operations or ongoing negotiations often required secrecy to ensure success. But I always believed in keeping the people informed whenever possible. Transparency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of effective leadership. My focus was always on delivering results rather than chasing headlines.
The hidden chapters of Trump's presidency. The West Wing was quiet that evening, the hum of activity subdued under the weight of secrecy. President Donald J. Trump leaned back in his chair at the resolute desk, his eyes scanning a report marked classified. It detailed an initiative so bold and transformative that even his closest advisors hesitated to speak of it openly. It was called the Phoenix Project, a vision to rebuild America's core industries, reimagine its global alliances, and restore its standing as the unrivaled leader of the free world. Trump closed the folder and sighed deeply. The weight of the presidency wasn't unfamiliar to him. He thrived under pressure, relished the opportunity to tackle challenges head-on. But this was different. The Phoenix Project wasn't just about policy. It was about reshaping the very fabric of the nation's future. The birth of the Phoenix Project. The idea had been born during Trump's first term. It started as a response to the growing threat of international dependence. Trump had often spoken about bringing jobs back to America and reducing reliance on foreign powers, but the Phoenix Project went further. It sought to rebuild America's critical industries, steel, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, while simultaneously strengthening domestic innovation. During a late-night brainstorming session in the White House, Trump gathered a select group of advisors, each sworn to secrecy. "We can't just compete," he told them, his voice firm. "We have to lead. America doesn't play second to anyone, and we're going to prove it." The team worked tirelessly, mapping out the project in phases. Phase 1 focused on infrastructure, modernizing America's roads, bridges, and energy grids to support the industries of tomorrow. Phase 2 aimed to revolutionize education, ensuring that American students would be equipped to dominate fields like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and cybersecurity. Phase 3 was the most ambitious, building a network of alliances with emerging nations to counterbalance global adversaries like China. Executing the plan. Implementing the Phoenix Project required both strategy and stealth. Trump knew that unveiling the full plan too soon would invite opposition from entrenched interests. Instead, he approached it incrementally, embedding elements of the project within broader policies. One of the first moves was the American Energy Independence Initiative, which sought to expand domestic oil and natural gas production while investing in renewable energy research. Critics accused Trump of pandering to big oil, but behind the scenes, he was laying the groundwork for energy technologies that would power the next industrial revolution. Another key component was the Rural Tech Revival Program, aimed at providing high-speed internet access to underserved areas. This wasn't just about connectivity. It was about empowering small-town businesses to compete in a global market. "If we're going to bring jobs back, we need the infrastructure to support them," Trump told his advisors. And that starts with giving every American the tools they need to succeed. The turning point. The project faced its share of challenges. Funding was a constant struggle, with Congress reluctant to allocate resources to what they saw as overly ambitious initiatives. Trump responded by redirecting existing budgets and leveraging private sector partnerships. "We'll get it done," he said in a cabinet meeting. "One way or another, we always do." The turning point came during a diplomatic summit with European leaders. Trump had been pushing for fairer trade agreements, but the discussions reached an impasse. That evening, during a private dinner, he presented his counterparts with a vision of mutual benefit. By partnering with America on the Phoenix Project, they could share in the technological and economic advancements it promised. The proposal was met with skepticism at first, but Trump's persistence paid off. Within months, several nations signed agreements to collaborate on joint research and development initiatives. These alliances bolstered the project's momentum and sent a clear message to the world: America was back and stronger than ever. Behind the curtain. While the public celebrated the visible successes of Trump's policies, few knew about the intricate web of decisions and negotiations that made them possible. For instance, the restoration of America's steel industry wasn't just about imposing tariffs. It was part of a larger strategy to reduce reliance on foreign materials for defense production. Similarly, Trump's controversial withdrawal from certain international agreements was often misunderstood. In truth, these moves were calculated to redirect resources toward alliances that aligned with America's long-term interests. Every decision has a purpose, Trump explained to his inner circle, "The media may not see it, but history will. The human element." Amid the high-level strategies and geopolitical maneuvers, Trump never lost sight of the human element. During a visit to a small manufacturing town in Ohio, he met a factory worker named Lisa, who had recently been rehired under a new initiative. Her story was emblematic of the Phoenix Project's success. Lisa had struggled for years after her factory closed, but the project's focus on reviving local industries had given her a second chance. "You didn't just bring back jobs," she told Trump with tears in her eyes. "You brought back hope." Moments like these fueled Trump's resolve. "This is what it's all about," he told his team later. "It's not just numbers on a chart. It's real people, real lives." The legacy. As Trump's presidency progressed, the Phoenix Project began to take shape in tangible ways. New factories opened across the Midwest, cutting-edge research centers sprang up in rural communities, and America's standing on the world stage grew stronger. But the project's true success lay in its vision. It wasn't just about restoring America to its former glory. It was about building a future where the nation could thrive for generations to come. "We're not just making America great again," Trump said during a State of the Union address. "We're making it greater than it's ever been." Conclusion. Years later, as historians examine Trump's presidency, the Phoenix Project emerged as one of its defining achievements. It was a testament to the power of vision, determination, and the belief that America's best days were still ahead. For Trump, it wasn't about the accolades or the legacy. It was about the promise he had made to the American people, a promise to fight for them, to uplift them, and to lead them into a brighter future. And as the phoenix rose from the ashes, so too did America, soaring higher than ever before. Thank you, President Trump, for sharing your incredible insights today. It's been an honor to hear about the untold strategies and bold decisions that defined your presidency. To our listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this exclusive conversation. If you found today's episode enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe to the English Politics Podcast. Your support helps us continue bringing you unfiltered political insights and exclusive interviews with the leaders shaping our world. What are your thoughts on the secrets behind Trump's presidency? Share your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for another exciting episode. Until then, stay informed and stay engaged. Thank you for listening.